Ladies and gentlemen, a round of applause to welcome all the panelists. And I leave it to the chair to open the panel.
A very good afternoon to all of you. And we are here to interact on a session that is corporate governance in the world economy, the changing role of directors. This session is quite important as it has been highlighted in the previous session, the various contradictions, the various challenges one has to face while taking decisions at the board level. And I have the galaxy of panelists from different segments who would throw light based on their experience. So first and foremost, I would like to mention from my own experience that in the board, various executives come from different domain area, different segment, different experience, maybe different organization, but they are unified. They are unified by only one thing, and that is vision of the company, the objective of the company. And if the corporate governance principles are followed, complied with, then always the decision-making process becomes smooth and impactful, and that is visible in the achievement or accomplishment of the corporate governance. So I'll just briefly mention, though all of you are well aware of that, it is a set of systems, procedures, policies, practices, standards to ensure that the relationship with various stakeholders is maintained in a transparent and spirited manner. So this helps in, corporate governance helps in ensuring that a company is governed in the best interest of all the stakeholders, and it provides the method by which one can direct and control the company to accomplish the objectives. So corporate governance, if in real sense we look at, during the Chanakya time, he has a quote that is Dharmash Moolam Artha. It means for the basic of all, money is the basis for all the good work. So basically, if you look at a corporate, then ultimately all these set procedures, rules are for maintaining a good balance sheet, good profitability, and by that the governance system can be established in a better way for the improvement of the stakeholders.
Thank you, Dr. Singh. Good afternoon, distinguished guests, esteemed colleagues, and honored panelists. It's a privilege to be here and delve into the evolving landscape of corporate governance. Board leadership plays a very, very vital role in the growth of the corporate sector. It's not merely a compliance requirement. It's a strategic tool, if leveraged correctly, can build a robust framework for transparency. As directors, we are entrusted with the responsibility to guide our organizations through complex and turbulent environments. This leadership begins with setting a clear vision and strategy that aligns with the company's goals and expectations of the shareholders. Transparency is the key to the process, so we have to be very transparent with all these stakeholders. In today's global economy, where information flows freely and rapidly, maintaining transparency in our operations is not just a best practice, but it's an imperative. A transparent organization builds trust with its shareholders, employees, customers, and a wider community. It fosters an environment where stakeholders feel confident that the company is acting in the best interest and that there is nothing to hide. However, transparency alone is not enough. I think with transparency, very, very critical is accountability. So as directors, we must ensure that there are clear mechanisms in place to hold the board and the management accountable for their actions.
I think at CFA Institute, which is the global professional body for investment management professionals, over the years, we have endeavored to ensure that ESG integration, which Mr. Vishal Gupta talked about, is part of investment decision-making. We have ensured that ESG codes and standards, which is part of our codes and standards that we create around various investment aspects, has become not only a part of our curriculum, but has been accepted by a number of asset owners around the world. What that means today is that investors, especially global institutional investors, are keen, aware, and absolutely responsible about ensuring that ESG is integrated into where they invest their assets. And in such an environment, it becomes all the more necessary that there are global standards on ESG investing that are available and are understood by members of a board and are implemented by organizations.
So I'm Yatish. I'm one of the founders and partners of Integrity Matters, a specialist provider of whistleblower services to companies in India. And we now, over the last 11 years, we now operate the whistleblower mechanism for many corporates. So whistleblowing is my area of specialty, and I'll limit my comments to whistleblowing as it relates to corporate governance. So we have the largest database of whistleblower complaints in corporate India. And I'm going to share my comments in terms of the journey that Indian companies have undergone in that period from a whistleblowing standpoint. So it all started with the Companies Act amendment in 2013 that required listed companies to have a vigil mechanism, which is what they call the whistleblower mechanism, operated through the audit committee and overseen by the independent directors on the board, who have to ensure that it is adequate and functional. So before that, many companies did not even have a whistleblower policy. And after that, once they instituted that, many companies did not allow anonymous whistleblower complaints. And over the last 11 years, we have seen a lot of evolution and maturity come into whistleblowing, where many companies now have an independent third-party robust systems in place. And the number of whistleblower complaints is going up overall. So this is a good trend from a corporate governance standpoint.
Training and development, continuous improvement, diverse boards. There are a lot of several aspects, challenges and best practices, consumers advocacy. Come to the conclusion, enhancing the role of shareholders and other stakeholders in corporate governance is vital for ensuring that the company can navigate economic volatility successfully by actively engaged of governance process, advocating for transparency and collaborating for change. Shareholders, institutional investors, employee, regulator, customers, and the public can also contribute to more robust governance framework. In doing so, they help build the organization capable for thriving even the challenging economic conditions. Thank you for being.